Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Janot here, and today we're going to be learning about bees, because bees are extremely important to us and our Earth. On April 22nd, it's Earth Day, so I thought we could do a little creative activity using recycled materials to create little bee homes to help protect our bees. Bees pollinate 80% of the flowers as well as 1/3 of the food that we eat. So it's crucial that we help keep our bees safe and support them. We're going to use our recycled materials around the house to create a mason bee house. So you're going to need one cleaned out can, some thin cardboard, string, paper, tape or glue, scissors. Optional to decorate after, you can use paint to decorate, or markers, stickers, whatever you have around the house. So step number 1 is going to be taking our can and we're going to measure our pieces of paper or cardboard to the length of the can. Then we're going to cut it. Once you've cut your piece of paper to the length of your can, you can put them together and then cut them again one more time. A regular size piece of paper for the printer will give you 4 pieces of paper. You're going to take one of those pieces of 4 and you're going to roll it into a tube. It's important that you make the tube the correct size so that a bee can fit inside. I find that if you use the end of a marker to check or your index finger to make sure that the hole is big enough, because in the winter, the bees will go back in there and create a little cocoon where they will hibernate. Now that your tube is taped or glued, you're going to place it inside of your can. This can is going to be filled with these tubes, so you're going to have to make a lot of them. You can switch it up using your paper or your cardboard, whatever you had in your recycling. Once you have filled your can with either rolled up paper or rolled up cardboard, you can decorate the outside of your can. I'm choosing to paint mine today, but you could use stickers or markers or anything else you have on hand. All right, well, I have now painted my can and I'm just gonna let it dry. While I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about bees. So we know that bees are extremely important because they pollinate the food that we eat as well as flowers. Some of the reasons why the population of bees are declining is loss of habitat. A lot of bees make their nest in decaying or hollowed out trees. So when we're building houses or farming, we chop down a lot of forests, so they're losing some of their habitats as well. There aren't as many wildflower fields anymore. Something that you could do to help with that would be create a bee home, which we're doing today, and also plant wildflowers. As you can see attached in the bottom in my comments, I have sent you all a link to the Cheerios website where they're going to send you a free bag of sunflower seeds. When that arrives, you can plant it outside in your garden and then our bees will have something to eat. A lot of farmers use pesticides on their plant to help protect the plants from other insects from eating them. However, pesticides are extremely harmful to the bees. So when you choose foods that are organic, you're choosing an organic vegetable that has not been sprayed with pesticides. So that's another way you can help the bees. Have you ever seen a bee in need? Maybe you see a bee on the sidewalk that is laying down and not flying because it's so exhausted. You might think that bee is dead, but most likely it has run out of energy because the flowers are so far apart. If you see a bee like this, what you could do is get a tablespoon of sugar, melt it in some water, and then leave that little tablespoon beside the bee. The bee will drink the sugary drink and that will help give him energy to fly away again. And boys and girls, you're going to take your string and you're going to cut it in half. So you have 2 strings. You're going to take those strings and you're going to wrap one around the top of the can and then tie a knot. And one around the bottom. It's also very important where you hang your mason bee home. If you hang it somewhere that gets direct sunlight all day long, your mason bees are going to get too hot. So you want to pick a spot that's mostly in the shade. Bee house, and hopefully there'll be some bees in there this year.